An individual not measured by the seconds, minutes, days, weeks, or even years, but by the legacy that he's built. A presence who's risen above all challenges. And gone head first into the unknown.
I and my family have successfully harvested the souls of the Undertaker and Demon Kane. For I am white. I summon the forces of darkness, the thunder, the lightning.
Joins the demon from the depths of hell.
That's gonna be Kane! The Brothers of Destruction! Are back with a vengeance!
Only time will tell us what the future will bring.
And with that introduction, that is how the 29th annual Survivor Series got underway. Because it was Sunday night that we all rose for a man who has been in the WWE for a quarter of the century, and he has helped revolutionize not only the WWE, but the business of sports entertainment as well. And for that, we say, thank you, Undertaker, for your sacrifice to the industry. And our first match at Survivor Series was the semi-finals of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. And we started with Roman Reigns, a man who has fought the battles of hell for nearly 2.5 years. This man has been through it all as a member of the Shield and running solo, coming ever so close to being the WWE champion, but yet the pinnacle had yet to be risen. And he faced off in the first of the semifinals against a former champion in Alberto Del Rio, who was accompanied by Zeb Coulter. Now, with Alberto Del Rio, they formed what is now called Mex America. They even renamed the United States title the Mex America Championship. And it was interesting because there was moments in that match where Del Rio had the cross arm breaker, and we thought right then and there this was going to be as far as Roman got. He was going to come yet so close to being the WWE champion, but failed. But somehow, through the powers and the strength and the courage and the will to fight, Roman Reigns overcame the odds, hit the Superman punch, and hit the massive spear, which put Del Rio out of commission and out of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, thus advancing Roman Reigns to the finals, in which he would have to wait to see who he would fight, whether it be Dean Ambrose, his longtime brethren of the Shield, or the Intercontinental Champion, Kevin Owens. And speaking of that match, let's jump right into the second semi-final match of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. Ambrose and Owens. And this was as physical as you wanted it to be. Back and forth, punch for punch, blow for blow. Owens had the match won, Ambrose had the match won, Both were giving it 110% above what they always give. But in the end, it was Dean Ambrose hitting Dirty D's, reversing from a pop-up powerbomb, beating Kevin Owens 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, thus setting up the championship match we have all wanted to see and has been in the works since day one. Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. And the question is going to be answered later that night as to who of these two best friends would be the brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We'll find that answer out later on. But other matches that went on were as follows. The Divas Championship. And this match, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was as personal as you could have asked for. Let me take you on a little bit of a flashback. Paige comes in, wins the Divas title, her first night on Raw after WrestleMania. She's dominant. She's powerful. She can be a bitch at times. But it's for her good. And as part of her career, that's what made Paige who she is. She's teamed with the likes of AJ, Emma, and the others, the Bellas. She's teamed with them all. She's run with them all. She's faced them all. Come earlier this year, she starts what has now been known as the Divas Revolution, because she feels that change needed to be done in the division. Stephanie brings up the likes of Becky Lynch, the fiery Irish woman, Charlotte, daughter of the two-time WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Boss, part of Team Beautiful and Dangerous, otherwise known as BAD, Sasha Banks. And while they formed PCB, did Paige, Charlotte, and Becky, tension started to rise amongst the three. Charlotte would go on to September, Night of Champions, win her first WWE Women's Championship, or if you want to now put it as Divas Championship of her young, illustrious career. And Paige grew ever so jealous. She started making accusations. She started making false claims, because she started to believe that this Divas Revolution was not needed. It was just a ploy to get more people for Paige to run roughshots in that division. And there were times that we thought Paige would team back up with PCB, only to stab her friends in the back a few weeks later, before Survivor Series would hit. And just last Monday night, at the contract signing, Paige made it even more personal by bringing up Charlotte's younger brother and his unfortunate death, thus enraging Charlotte, thus making the match Sunday night as personal as you can ask for. And these two divas, Paige and Charlotte, were pulling each other's hair. We're going back and forth, pound for pound, bitch for bitch. They were giving it all. And there was numerous times that both women could have had this match easily won, but they conquered and conquered and conquered, fought and fought more. Sweat, tears were coming from these two women. But in the end, Charlotte locked in the figure 8, thus defending her Divas title and putting Paige aside for now. When you hear the We Love It Raw review, there was controversy, according to Paige, and I'm going to get into that on our review show for Monday Night Raw, so stay tuned. So as Charlotte defended her Divas title, we had a traditional traditional Survivor Series. Wasn't all that important. Ryback's team, I do believe, won that match. They faced off against New Day, and I forgot who else they fought, but like I said, it wasn't all that important. So we had that match, and Ryback's team won that match. Then we had Prince Pretty against the show-off Dolph Ziggler. So it was Tyler Breeze and Ziggler. And this was a fairly new rivalry. He really didn't have time to, develop, since Tyler Breeze is fairly new on the scene here on the main roster of WWE. And Ziggler's been through it all. He's been through countless battles, but nothing like this. So, Tyler Breeze pulled off one of the biggest upsets we've seen since Fandango beat Chris Jericho at MetLife Stadium in 2013's WrestleMania. Okay? So, huge upset, and congratulations onto the part of Tyler Breeze beating Dolph Ziggler. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to indulge your minds and your thoughts on the WWE Championship match. Brother versus brother. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And this, right off the bell, was really a quick match. Ambrose hit dirty deeds, but in the end, like I said, the better brother in Roman Reigns prevailed as the WWE champion. And Ambrose gave the congratulatory hug, saying, "Congratulations, brother, on achieving your lifelong dream. You have reached the pinnacle of pinnacles and the highest mountain of this business." Triple H comes out amongst the confetti that's falling down, offers a congratulatory handshake, but Roman walks away. Hunter is enraged, offers a hand yet again, but then in an act of defiance, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest act of defiance was occurred as Roman Reigns, the newly crowned WWE World Champion, speared the boss, the COO of the Authority and of WWE, Triple H, to the ground, and trash-talked did Roman Reigns to a speared down Triple H, thus setting up a Money in the Bank cash-in. Yes, you heard it right here on this show, ladies and gentlemen, a Money in the Bank cash-in. Sheamus seized that opportunity, that moment of weakness by Roman Reigns. Hit a bro kick, and a slight delay by the referee trying to get the bell rung caused Roman Reigns to get second wind, but briefly, as Sheamus hit a second, more powerful bro kick, knocking Roman Reigns into another dimension beyond this. Cover, 1, 2, 3, and your winner, ladies and gentlemen, and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And what surprised me about this was the rumors were running rampant online all day Sunday leading up to Survivor Series was that either Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns was going to turn heel and join the Authority, and how quickly those rumors got dashed because Sheamus seized that opportunity, cashed in, won the title, and got the biggest congratulations from Triple H as he ever grows the Authority empire to unprecedented levels. So now with Sheamus being the man of the Authority as the WWE champion, one can only wonder how this will sit with a recovering Seth Rollins. But we won't know that until another 6 to 9 months. And on top of that, get well soon, Seth. Your time was cut short. But with all those other matches out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to honor a man for what he has done. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, it was all about the 25 years of The Undertaker. For what he has done since his debut at Survivor Series 1990, to what he has done at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, briefly at the Royal Rumble, and other pay-per-views. And I'm going to take you again down memory lane. WrestleMania 30. We saw a new version of The Undertaker. A more, I would say, side of him that didn't look normal. There was something weird about this Undertaker that we saw. And he faced off against Brock Lesnar. It was the Beast versus the Streak, as it was titled, at WrestleMania 30 just last year in New Orleans at the Superdome. And Undertaker at that WrestleMania last year did not have his A game. Yeah, he hit a chokeslam, a tombstone. But there was something about that Undertaker that just didn't sit so well with me. Something wasn't right with The Undertaker that year. Could have been his physical condition. Could have been that he just needed rest. Could have been that maybe his body's getting older. We never knew. But Brock Lesnar ended one of the best streaks we've ever seen in sports entertainment or in any business today. At 21-1, questions arose. Will we see The Undertaker again? Or as he has done many a times, walked up that aisle, possibly for the last time. Months and months go by. Bray Wyatt enters the picture, claiming himself as the new face of fear, telling everyone that The Undertaker no longer exists. Issues a challenge, Undertaker accepts. WrestleMania 31 in San Francisco, Levi Stadium, Bray versus Undertaker, and we saw a better version of The Undertaker this year. We saw a slimmer, more physical conditioned Undertaker, who was like what we have seen since day one, 25 years ago. He beats Bray Wyatt, lays him down, sticks the tongue out, gets the 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt is briefly put aside. Thus, coming back months later, Brock Lesnar. But how did that start? That started at Battleground. Brock was destroying Seth Rollins, was on the verge of becoming a WWE champion again with Brock Lesnar, and then the gongs. Appearing out of nowhere, The Undertaker. Choke slams and tombstones Brock, setting up SummerSlam in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. The second of 3 nights sold out. Undertaker wins with controversy, setting up Hell in a Cell just last month. Brock beats The Undertaker just like Brock did at WrestleMania 30. But here's where it gets even more bone-chilling. At the end of that match in October at Hell in a Cell, the Wyatts laid waste to The Undertaker. They took him away. Nobody has seen or heard from The Undertaker since Hell in a Cell. Kane lays victim to the Wyatts again. He's taken away, just like his brother The Undertaker was at Hell in a Cell. Nobody's heard from the Brothers of Destruction for weeks. Until the one night in England, they come back bigger and better. And they set their targets on the Wyatts. Wyatts issued a challenge. The Brothers of Destruction agreed that a Survivor Series, it would be family versus family. And that takes you right now, ladies and gentlemen, to Sunday night, November 22nd of 2015, Phillips Arena in Atlanta. The Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatts. And it was all Brothers of Destruction. There was brief moments, ladies and gentlemen, just brief, that the Brothers of Destruction were laid down. But as we all have seen from The Undertaker and Kane, they rose from the ashes, chokeslammed the Wyatts, and The Undertaker delivered what we have known from him for 25 years, a quarter of a century. A tombstone piledriver. 1, 2, 3. And it was fitting to say that the winners of that match were the Brothers of Destruction. But most importantly, it was a win for The Undertaker. And what I really liked at the end of that match was the accolades that the WWE Universe, including myself and others, gave The Undertaker on Sunday night. It was saying, thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for everything, Undertaker. You have given us something to cheer and watch for. And you are a legitimate first ballot WWE Hall of Famer. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes Survivor Series 2015. Share your thoughts. I want to hear what you thought could have made Survivor Series in your eyes better. Or what did you really think should have happened at this year's Survivor Series? And now, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the fallout of Survivor Series on this edition of We Love It Raw.
You know, life is often defined by opportunity. Those who seize it, those who miss it, and those who let it simply pass through their hands like Roman Reigns.
That's right. 2 weeks ago, I stood in this ring. I offered Roman Reigns an opportunity that virtually ensured that he would walk out of Survivor Series as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All he had to do was shake my hand and show the faith in the company the same way the company had faith in him. And what Roman chose to do was Roman Reigns chose to tell me to shove my opportunity.
Now, for some people, they're lucky if opportunity knocks once. But for Roman Reigns, opportunity knocked twice. And like you said, Roman Reigns turned it down. Once before the tournament and then again last night when all you were trying to do was be a good boss and offer your congratulations.
That's right, because I am not a petty man. I wasn't upset when Roman turned me down the first time. No, I buried that. And when Roman Reigns went through that tournament last night at Survivor Series, when by his own hand Roman Reigns became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, I was the first one to stand there, look him in the eyes, and say congratulations, and once again offer my hand in an opportunity. And in that moment, Roman Reigns chose to cheap shot me. That's right. Cheer for that. Roman Reigns' pride made him cheap shot me, and that cheap shot is why tonight Roman Reigns is no longer the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. See, all of you should learn from this. This is a life lesson for each and every one of you. Your lives are defined by opportunities. The ones you seize and the ones you miss. Well, let me introduce you to a man right now that knows how to seize opportunity. Let me introduce you to the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus!
And with that introduction as to why Roman Reigns is no longer the WWE World Heavyweight Champion is how we start off the fallout from Survivor Series. Welcome to We Love It Raw. And it's interesting to hear what Triple H had to say about seizing opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And that was handed to Roman Reigns not once, but twice. Because if you have an opportunity, you take it and you make something of it. But in the case of Roman Reigns, he did not take the two opportunities by Triple H. And thus, that is why he's no longer the WWE Champion, according to Triple H. Here is what Sheamus had to say about his opportunity at the title last night.
What a moment! It just doesn't get better than this, right? Oh, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I want an introduction, by the way. Top class. Top class. Hey, I'm telling you right now, there is nothing that you can say that can ruin my moment. That's it. Keep it coming. Now wear yourselves out. This is my moment. I will not let you stand in my way. Oh, I would say, last night, Roman Reigns made it to the top of the mountain. He just couldn't stay there because the bro kicked him right off. Historians know that the Roman Empire lasted 500 years. Well, this Roman Empire, it lasted 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I mean, did you see the way? Did you see Roman's reaction when I grabbed his sleeve from his grasp? Did you see that? I mean, it was pathetic. When Brutus stabbed Caesar, at least Caesar didn't roll over. At least he rolled over and died like a man. Yeah. I want to tell you all, when I became Mr. Money in the Bank, I told each and every one of you out here that I was only one bro kick away from becoming the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, yeah. One bro kick away. And last night I proved this. So, I have just one question. Just one question for the entire WWE Universe. Who looks stupid now? Who stupid now? Who looks stupid now? You don't look stupid. What he looks like is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
And with that message as to why Sheamus cashed in, it was a pretty decent reason, because he gave us a little bit of history, you know, into the Roman Empire then, and then to the Roman Empire now, and then, you know, how he thought that the right time was, you know, to cash in the WWE Champion, and it made all logical sense. But now, the former WWE Champion Roman Reigns makes his way down the crowd here at the Bridgestone Arena on Raw, and he's going to give his intake into this whole mess of the WWE Championship Tournament, and what he says kind of made it even more personal than what it's already been. So, take a listen to this.
World Heavyweight Champion. Didn't say former, did we? Hey, Roman, how's that pride thing working out for you? 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Congrats, champ. Guess what, Nashville? I want my rematch tonight.
Excuse me, sorry to break this up. Oh, here we go. Well, Roman, I guess I'll have to ask you the same question as everybody else. How does it feel to want? Because your opportunity to make demands with us was lost last night when you speared my husband. So I'll tell you what I want, and that's for you to back up and get the hell out of my ring!
What is this, H? Are you standing behind her because you're scared of me?
Personal message sent by Roman Reigns, and he made one thing clear. He wants the WWE title, and he wanted that match tonight. But Triple H said, not on my watch, not tonight. When I say you get the title shot, you get a title shot. And as the Authority was walking up the ramp, and a stare down ensued between Reigns and Sheamus, Rusev would make his reappearance and kick the living crap out of Roman Reigns, thus setting up the main event for tonight. Reigns and Rusev, with Sheamus in Rusev's corner. And as that match was being made, Triple H made the first match at TLC in Boston in 3 weeks' time. It will be Sheamus defending the WWE World title against a man who had the belt for all but 5 minutes and 15 seconds, Roman Reigns, in the annual Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match. And that is how Monday Night Raw officially kicked off, with the back and forth, gloating and points being made about what happened at Survivor Series Sunday night. But other than that, there was other matches that went on. We had a rematch for the Divas title between Charlotte and Paige. And this stemmed from the controversy that I'm about to go into Sunday night. Now on Sunday night, Charlotte retained and defended her Divas title. But what we all didn't see, not even myself, was that when Charlotte locked in the figure 8, okay, Charlotte's hands were under the rope. Now, technically, the rules of the WWE is if your hands or feet are under the rope, it constitutes a break or a non-submission or a pin or whatever you're in. But the referee failed to see that, and Paige brought that up. And while, yes, Charlotte went on to say, you know what, my hand might have been under the rope, I still won. I'm still the Divas title. And this set up for an encore match for the Divas title. And this match was 10 times better than what we had on Sunday night at Survivor Series. This match went on for a good 5.5, almost 6 minutes long, as both tried to prove why they wanted to be Divas champion. But in the end, it ended as a double countout, and it just got even more personal when Paige locked in the PTO on Charlotte. But what made it really interesting was that nobody came out to help Charlotte, not even Becky Lynch. So that's something to really keep your eye on. And speaking of Becky Lynch, she was in a match against NXT counterpart, the Boss, Sasha Banks. And it's been a while since we've seen the Boss on Monday Night Raw. And the fans chanted, "We want Sasha." And apparently that chant worked because we got what we wanted. We got Sasha Banks on Raw. So, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Naomi and Tamina are out there. The numbers game once again proved too much for Becky Lynch. The numbers game cost Becky Lynch and earned Sasha Banks a big win. Now, what does this mean for Sasha Banks? Hopefully, it will be a Divas title shot at TLC. And that's yet to be determined. But one can only hope. Then we had the Dudleys against the Wyatts. And the Wyatts are hell-bent on getting revenge on the Brothers of Destruction. But that's going to have to wait for yet another pay-per-view. So they took out their frustrations on the 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions, the Dudleys. And this was clearly a one-sided match. You know, the Dudleys got their pops in, but it was clearly a one-sided match. And the Wyatts ended up beating the Dudleys. And then, after that, Braun Strowman got involved and even laid more waste to an even battered and bruised Dudley Boys team. So with the Wyatts now seeking revenge on the Brothers of Destruction, let's talk about what else we saw on Monday Night Raw. We saw something of a first on Monday Night Raw. We saw a WWE Tag Team Championship Open Challenge and a 1-year Jamboree celebration by the Power of Positivity. Who else? The New Day. And the New Day was talking about how they hate being in Tennessee and how they they hate country music. They couldn't even say the word country music. They were like gargling in their mouth, spitting in their mouth, throwing up in their mouth. They were doing everything not to say that they didn't like country music, but they finally came out and said, hey, listen, we hate country music and we think it's despicable. So, as the celebration's going on and on, the Lucha Dragons come out. And they're trying to say, hey, listen, you laid the challenge, we're accepting it. But the New Day tried to vent back and say, listen, the open challenge is not going on. Out come the Usos. They want to claim shot at the tag team titles, along with the Lucha Dragons. So war words escalated between the three teams, and New Day officially said, listen, this tag team title open challenge is canceled. But not before the New Day got laid to waste by both the Usos and the Lucha Dragons. So it's an interesting scenario in the tag team division as to who's going to be the outright number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, to find out more details as this develops heading in to the TLC pay-per-view in less than 3 weeks' time. So other matches that went on was Mark Henry versus Neville. Now this was older guy versus younger guy. Seasoned vet versus seasoned rookie. And in the beginning, Mark Henry had his way with Neville. But in the end, youth overcame age. Neville hit the red arrow and beat the seasoned vet of Mark Henry. But what I really liked was the end of the match. After Neville was proclaimed the victor, Mark Henry went up to Neville, shook his hand, and said, you got a lot of potential, young man. I wish you all but the best, because I see a lot of success in your future. Then we had another tag team match. We had the Cosmic Wastelands, Stardust and the Ascension, Victor and Connor, versus the Primetime Players, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, and a returned Goldust. Brother versus brother. We've all been waiting for this type of matchup for, God, since Cody turned into Stardust. So we finally got to see that match. And this was, I think, a joke of a match. Because it really doesn't mean a damn thing when it comes to tag team championships or title shots or whatever. But, it was something, they just had to lay a joke in there or a comic joke or whatever you want to put it. But, Primetime Players and Goldust beat Stardust and the Cosmic Wastelands of the Ascension. So, that match was, I would say, not even necessary on Monday Night Raw. So I don't know why, they had it. Then we had Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler teaming up in another tag team match. Yes, another tag team match. Going against Tyler Breeze and the Intercontinental Champion, Kevin Owens. And Dean Ambrose and Ziggler would pick up a win after Kevin Owens just let Tyler Breeze just get destroyed and get the living crap beat out of him. So that was another wasted opportunity match that we saw on Monday Night Raw. And then we saw something of a first. The the Mex America champion, Alberto Del Rio, with Zeb Coulter, comes out, and we're going to have our first Mex America State of the Union address. Something of a first here in the WWE.
Cut the music. Before I get started here, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Just because Alberto Del Rio was unsuccessful last night in his attempt to become WWE Mex America Heavyweight Champion doesn't mean that Mex America is a failure. Quite the contrary. A lot of young nations experience ups and downs. They call it growing pains. But you know what other country is young? America. This one right here. America is young too, but America is in trouble. Now, out of the kindness of our own hearts, when Alberto Del Rio and myself, we devised the concept of a Mex America, we left it open for each and every one of you who chose to leave this sinking Titanic of a nation and go to a country that was actually worth fighting for. And how was that received? Not very well, I might add. How did you respond to it? You did what Americans do best. You immediately took to social media. You went to Twitter. You went to Facebook. You went to hashtagging. You went to Periscope, Grindr, Tinder, whatever you went to, I don't know. And you do what Americans do best. You moaned and you complained and you actually became what you do best. You actually become a bunch of haters.
And for the Mexicans, para los mexicanos que solo critican, que tienen miedo y van en contra de los que como yo sabemos hacer algo espectacular porque no tenemos miedo, que siguen como borregos, solo el que va adelante sin saber a dónde ir y que presumen un patriotismo que no tienen.
Someone please translate what Alberto Del Rio said.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish as I do, I'm going to tell you what he said. What he said was, we tried to teach you people the basic human values. We tried to teach you humility. We tried to teach you tolerance. We tried to teach you a lot of things that you don't have now. But you didn't listen then, and you're not listening now. And right now, I want to publicly announce that our work in charity to help you people is hereby terminated.
To hell with all of you people. From now on, the borders of Mex-America are closed forever.
See what you've done? The borders of Mex-America are closed. You know, what is that old saying? What is that old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them think. Exactly. And what is that old phrase? The land of the free and the home of the brave. When I'm looking at over this crowd here, which is a microcosm of America, I don't see a lot of brave faces out here tonight. And talking about free, you know what I see?
So here is Jack Swagger. And here's another personal animosity to his once manager, now turncoat to Alberto Del Rio.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing said. You used to put your hand over your heart and stand for something. Yeah, I looked up to that. These people looked up to that. And now look at you. You turn your back on the country. What do you think you turn your back on these people? You old, bitter, out of touch.
Hey. You don't talk to him like that, you stupid American.
I promise to protect this country against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. If you don't like what I have to say, why don't you do something about it?
Yeah. This is going to be good. And Swagger's been ticked off ever since Del Rio returned with Zeb Coulter at his side. Swagger and Coulter used to be tied at the hip.
So as Del Rio and Swag and Coulter are going away, what you're going to hear from Jack Swagger revolutionize what he has been all about since day one in WWE.
I want you to hear something. Will everyone please rise? Put your hand over your heart and in a loud, clear voice, say along with me, We the People!
So that makes it even more personal and more animosity between Swagger and his former friend, Zeb Coulter. So you're possibly looking at Jack Swagger being in line for United States, Mex America Championship shot. So that's something to really watch out for in the coming weeks, possibly leading up at TLC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The main event of Monday Night Raw. Former WWE Champion Roman Reigns against former United States Champion Rusev, with the current WWE Champion by his side in Sheamus. And this match, ladies and gentlemen, had it all from the word go. Power, hatred, testosterone's above uncontrollable levels. And each laid waste. Each had seizable opportunities to win this match. Rusev was about to lock in the accolade. Reigns powers out. Hits Superman punch. Not once, but twice. And as he's about to, Roman Reigns, throw Rusev into the ring, we get a visit and an ambush attack by King Barrett? And now, that's interesting to know. Why? Why target Roman Reigns? And we know Barrett has been in cahoots, with Sheamus and Rusev. He's teamed up with them. But to do that during a match? Maybe he's on the good graces of the Authority. We don't know. I'm hoping we get some type of answer from Wade Barrett on next week on Monday Night Raw. And that match tonight ended up as a disqualification leading to a win for Roman Reigns. But unlike what happened at Survivor Series, Roman Reigns was the one standing at the end as he laid waste to Rusev and now Sheamus. And with a chair in hand, Roman Reigns sent the message, and in 3 weeks' time, your ass belongs to me, and I will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And you can believe that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the fallout from Survivor Series 2015. Many interesting parts, many interesting storylines, with no foregone conclusions to either one of them. They're in the works. And I think you're going to start seeing a lot of animosity build up, tensions rise, trust issues being put to test, egos becoming even more egotistical. Because at TLC, look for just a pure demolition derby of a night. So that does it for We Love It Raw Survivor Series Fallout. We look forward to seeing and hearing from you next week as our road to Boston, the TD Garden, is now underway for TLC. We'll see you next week.